Assalamualaikum and very good day to all. I'm Adila Atira from the Faculty of Education, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. Today, I will be presenting our study titled Reframing Teachers' Ethical and Intuitive Judgment in Malaysian Classroom-Based Assessment, conducted together with my supervisor, Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Effendi. The professional judgment of teachers has become increasingly important in Malaysia, especially since the implementation of classroom based assessment in 2016. Our study aims to develop and validate a new instrument to assess teachers' professional judgment, particularly focusing on two underrepresented but critical aspects: ethical judgment and intuition. We align our framework with five constructs outlined by the Ministry of Education, which are knowledge, experience, student input, ethical judgment, and intuition. Classroom based assessment is supported by Malaysian Teacher Standards, SGM 2.0, revised in 2023. This framework emphasizes that teachers must exercise professional judgment, not just follow rubrics. SGM 2.0 was developed by referencing the Southeast Asia Teachers Competency Framework, giving our instrument a strong policy foundation. Several studies show that teachers tend to overestimate student performance, provide insufficient feedback, and lack confidence in judgment. Parents have raised concerns about mastery level accuracy, and school leaders feel teachers are not fully prepared for judgment based assessment. Importantly, the ministry has not developed a standardized instrument to measure this critical skill. Our study addresses this gap. In this segment, we'll delve into the methodology of our study, specifically focusing on how we measured teachers' professional judgment using the content validity ratio (CVR) and Cohen's-Kappa statistic. The study employed a quantitative approach using a content validation questionnaire. Eight experts were selected as the content evaluation panel. Criteria for expert selection included qualifications, experience, institutional roles, and contributions to the field. We have four professional experts, which are lecturers and officers from the Ministry of Education institution with PhD qualification and over 10 years of experience. They are selected for their policy and pedagogical expertise. The other four, they are late A experts in service teachers with more than 10 years of experience selected for practical classroom insight. The panel was contacted via email, phone calls, and letters. They were given 2 to 4 weeks to complete the evaluation. Inter-rater reliability also measured via Cohen's-Kappa analysis. These are the details of our experts for content validity ratio and also for Cohen's Kappa analysis. The Cohen's Kappa analysis assessed the consistency of judgment between two experienced Malay language teachers, yielding a kappa value of 0.49, indicating a moderate level of agreement. Out of 102 evaluated items, 99 were rated as appropriate by both assessors, demonstrating strong alignment and enhancing the credibility of the validation process. This analysis reinforces the significance of ethical judgment and intuition in teachers' decision making. As we explore the content validity ratio, it is important to understand its role in validating our instruments items. The CVR is based on feedback from both professional and lay experts, specifically four of each. According to Lawshi's recommendation from 1975, the critical value of CVR we aim for is 0.75, with our total expert panel comprising 8 members. Now, let's look at the findings. Out of 102 items, we found that 3 items had a CVR of 0.25, 6 items got zero point 0.5, while 23 items reached the critical value of 0.75. And impressively, 70 items scored a perfect 1. The results highlight a robust validation process, indicating that a significant number of items are deemed appropriate by our expert panel. This is crucial for ensuring the reliability of our assessment tool. Next, we'll discuss the implications of these results and how they contribute to our overarching goals. As we discuss the results and findings, let's focus on the key aspects of our evaluation process. Firstly, we found that 93 items successfully passed the content validity ratio or CVR threshold of 0.75. This indicates a strong level of agreement among our expert panel. Next, it is important to note that we revised 9 items based on the feedback from our experts. This highlights our commitment to ensuring the highest standards in our evaluation process. Lastly, we observe a Cohen's kappa value of 0.493, suggesting a moderate agreement between our two raters. According to Landis and Cook, this level of agreement is significant and reinforces the reliability of our assessment methods. To wrap up this section, let's acknowledge the fundamental role that ethical judgment and teacher intuition play in navigating uncertainties in students' assessments. These elements are crucial in shaping how teachers interpret behaviors and make decisions. Now, let's move on to discuss how these findings support professional growth and future improvements in assessment practices. As we conclude our discussion today, let's reflect on the significance of the validated instrument we have explored. The validated instrument serves not just as a measurement tool, but as a reflective tool for professional growth. By emphasizing the moral and intuitive aspects of assessment, we are not only shaping our policies, but also fostering humane practices in educational assessments. This approach is crucial because it empowers educators to make thoughtful decisions that truly benefit our students. Good assessment is not just about data, but about the values, instincts, and judgments of the teacher behind it. Before we move on to the limitations of this study, I invite you to think about how this tool could impact your own practice. As we transition into discussing the limitations of our study, it is important to acknowledge the scope of our research. One key limitation is that our study focused solely on content validation. This means we have established that the instrument is valid in terms of the content it measures, but we recognize the future research needs to explore further psychometric testing. The validated instrument can be used by teacher educators, policymakers, and school leaders to enhance classroom assessment. It supports more personalized and fair assessments, especially in schools adopting alternative assessment frameworks. Future work will involve testing the instrument using Rush model analysis and confirmatory factor analysis to ensure its psychometric robustness. This slide shows key moments from research process, including expert panel sessions, validation activities, and academic engagements. It highlights the collaborative efforts that support the rigor and credibility of this study. These are some key publications and innovations that have emerged from our research. First, we have a significant publication titled Professional Judgment of Teachers in Malaysia based on score modeling diagnostic. Next, we have another important work, Teachers' Professional Judgment in Malaysia Classroom-Based Assessment, the Iconic Runway in Education. This paper explores the dynamics of classroom-based assessments and how they are perceived within the educational landscape. The publications presented today not only add to the academic dialogue but also serve as a call for innovation in educational practices. Let's remember that education is not just about the content delivered, it's about how we assess and foster growth in our students. I appreciate your attention and engagement throughout this session, and I look forward to any questions or discussions that you might have. Thank you.